In the burgeoning early days of a post-reset world, the remnants of humanity scoured the twisted, charred remains of the old world for anything that might aid their survival. Among them was Maya, a brilliant and curious mind, driven by an unshakable hope that humankind could not only survive but thrive again. Her community was shielded by the ruins of an ancient city, a twisted monument of past glories now overrun by nature. Vines grew unperturbed among molten steel frameworks. Birds nestled where offices had once buzzed. It was a stark and fascinating juxtaposition. Every day, Maya led a group into the bowels of this ancient city to forage for artifacts of technology. Though much was beyond repair, once in a while they came across items that hinted at the wisdom of the past. A solar panel still capable of harnessing the sun's energy, a book outlining the basics of engineering. Each find was a small but significant victory in their struggle to survive. Maya knew the real treasure was not in merely salvaging these artifacts, but in interpreting them, understanding them, and using their essence to craft a new society. Maya and her people were not alone. Across the globe, scattered human settlements clung to life, each grappling with its unique challenges. Some formed tightly knit clans bound by kinship. Others were loose coalitions of survivors drawn together by necessity. Communications were practically non-existent, leaving each group to rise or fall largely on its own merits. In Maya's settlement, called Nova, the seeds of a new society began to sprout amid the ash and rubble. One day, while exploring a building whose ceiling had long since peeled away to reveal the morning sky, Maya found a dilapidated library overflowing with ancient, neglected tomes. Faded papers crumbled easily in her hands, but under one dusty shelf, she discovered a collection of scientific journals and philosophical texts. As she gingerly separated one from the pile, she paused, eyes scanning the text. Knowledge such as this was invaluable. These books, old yet timeless, held answers from a world that had already lived, learned, failed, and dreamed. She knew in her heart that the resurrection of humanity required more than just survival. It required purpose. That very night, she gathered her community around a fire, its flickering light an intimate glow against the encroaching night. She spoke passionately about building bridges to reconnect humanity's fragmented past with its uncertain future. With each word, Maya painted a portrait of a civilization that respected the earth and all its inhabitants, one that fostered equality, kindness, and unity. It was not just ideology that she imparted, but strategy. They needn't mimic the past to progress. Rather, they needed to chart new pathways informed by previous failures and successes. Her plans included implementing sustainable agricultural practices to ensure food security, largely inspired by permaculture principles she gleaned from the scavenged books. Education, albeit rudimentary at first, became mandatory for all in Nova. Friendships were forged in communal learning. These changes took time, patience, and trial by a harsh world determined to remember. Maya and the people of Nova began to transform their world, inspired not just by their technological discoveries, but by the mistakes they intended not to repeat.